everything. The Jace that doesn't have a strong counter here in this Ambessa. They have the Ashe Seraphine, they have the Rise to follow up with the Pantheon. Like, their global is insane.
Nice if you manage to get it down over and over again. As Doran, I swear he just went back to base. As now, Owner is making his way in, but Perfect just solo kills him! Alright, meanwhile here towards the bottom side of the map, Aiming could be in a bit of trouble as T1 looking to press forward. Effort controlling the battlefield really nicely though, and the volley tags both of them. Beat drop does force Pace to get out of there, and Carrier could be down to the egg, and there it is! They cannot actually kill it though.
Okay. and how he got on KT on a 3-year contract is he got 3 of them in a row in tryouts. As Faker is caught.
Room Prison comes down. He does wear his sombrero and catches Cuz in it, as B2D was looking to try and catch him in a flash, and Faker just says that he's just exiting the area. Arrow is going to connect though, as Aiming really does not want to let this Orianna leave. True Shot Barrage comes down. Faker now thinking that he might be able to kill this Ashe, who is in melee range with the Orianna. And B2D comes on over and allows Aiming to collect.
Really strong here early. Pace also looking a little weak.
Yeah, there's a Grand Starfall. Pace has not a lot of options as to where to go, and Cuz is going to come on over and allow.
I worry for them if they try to spring this trap. Faker's here.
Faker is going to come forward, does find the shockwave. There's the Encore, as Owner is going to get charmed up momentarily. He has to flash out of the way, and this Seraphine is doing a lot of work
3v4,
to keep Cuz alive. And B2D just wanders to the bottom lane to just smash down some of this overgrowth. And yeah, Perfect is still in that top side of the map as well.
A flash out of Cuz. A heal out of effort will lose their mid turret and so much of the bottom turret.
There you go. Okay. There's the value.
I spoke too soon. And have vision, and he's like, that's enough. I see that ult, I'm leaving. Doesn't even have phase rush, as Faker is. This is the global power.
Yep.
Double global.
Should be able to get that Room Prison. There it is. And Cuz looking to try and lock down Faker.
Surely he doesn't flash this time.
Yeah, I don't think he will. As Beat Drop is going to miss. There's the high note. And Room Prison comes through once again. B2D just needs to hit another Q, doesn't even need to. It's presentation there as Doran in a whole lot of trouble here. Owner is going to rotate over, but I don't think Doran is going to live for very much longer, as there's a flash from B2D, avoids the turret aggro as well quite nicely, and they will be able to secure.
Shied away from overextending sometimes. B2D might be the same one.
Yeah, this could be the first kill of the game for
TP though, I don't know.
Never mind, Cuz has just made his way in with the ulti, the teleport from Perfect and KT. They now have the man advantage, and the Realm Warp is going to turn it into a kill onto Carrier as well. Oh my goodness, absolutely scrappy.
He is going to head up here because they want to deny the Baron. I was being facetious.
I mean, Owner might be able to get in there and steal it away. Information will be picked up. All right, Owner, can you make it happen? He is going to get in, but the arrow connects. And Paze is going to be ushered out with a shock blast. Baron goes over to KT.
Oh no,
Perfect Game is going to die. There it is. Okay. So KT not going to be able to collect that one, but one turret away as the Encore is going to connect. Faker gets hit by the beat drop as well, and now everyone else has to deal with Cuz, who will find the stun onto Carrier and turn him into mincemeat. Down he will go. B2D now put into the Cataclysm, but he'll take down the Jarvan and keep himself alive. They're going to break open the base, and KT are going to obliterate T1 here in game number 1.
Most one-sided game of LCK so far. Only had 3.
I love that sample size, Wolf. Beautiful stuff. Public execution comes in, but for whom?
And, you know, Doran, he got the turret, so at least he's the hero for T1. Not only do I hear the KT side, which we're on, going crazy here, but I've heard despairing wails on the T1 side. As this is a disaster, not the start to the season they were looking for.
I want to say, though, KT, this is what we wanted to see out of our, world's runners-up of 2025. They didn't look this good in the LCK Cup, but the amazing things on it is, okay, Perfect, he's just going to lock the vein.
I really like this trap for KT until that moment.
Yep. Yeah, he was watching
right now.
Yep. He is moving over to the vicinity, but
Cuz did, he doesn't have his smite back, and Owner didn't have to use this. So, boy.
Great shove. There's the flash in from Owner. Flash out from B2D.
The shield.
Golden shield, but there's first blood from Faker.
Experience. I think he's kind of in the clear now.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten through the toughest part of the game state they were in.
Oh, Pace could be in a little bit of trouble here as Aiming trying to move forward, but the circle doesn't work, but the bubble is good. Flash out from Effort. That is going to keep him alive as Carrier just barely didn't have his flash available. It could have been a moment there as now Pays is in trouble himself. The flash comes in and the barrier is going to save the Corki, but can it save Carrier? That's the question. Is Effort one auto away from dead and Carrier picks it up?
That's massive. That's the one that wins it. But I want to give credit to Effort for being confident in this lane. He looks way more confident than either support before his cuz.
Yeah, that's a flash in. Faker is going to get a little bit scared here as the final hour comes on down. Perfect is going to help lock down. Well, actually, he didn't even get an assist there, but BDD going to take down Ona. And now Perfect able to dance around and picks up the kill onto the Cassante. Very, very well. It's just in a team fight, you're not going to be as valuable as there's the all out. And this can be problematic, although trying to get that kiting to work, and it's looking beautiful here. The flash can jam, and Perfect gets the solo once again in game 2. Looking for a dragon. Let's see whether T1 can stop this one from happening as Ona walks on over and just steals it away. Beautifully done. He'll sacrifice his life for it as cease and desist comes in, and KT says, no, we will continue. Is going to be a possibility. Like you were saying, I feel like the Vayne is a beautiful pick into the laning phase, but now Faker is going to turn up, gets that wall into position. Seismic shove going to be avoided, and Perfect is going to die. There is the all out, and Doran cuts him up. Still, it was a decent attempt.
Herald is up, and they do have that Vayne with TP now because of the role quest.
Yep.
And this is where really have to be careful if you are aiming. Like, you are the main source of consistent damage here.
Well, that's a great polymorph onto Doran, down to 50% already here. But battle lines have been drawn, and we've mentioned that just a front-to-back teamfight should belong to T1. There's the flash in for BDD, though, as they are looking to take them down. Ona's smites have been phenomenal, though, in this game. Still, Cuz goes forward, finds the Wild Growth knockups, and that is BDD locking down the kill onto Ona. Now Doran in a bunch of trouble. The double bubble is so good out of Carrier for the disengage.
It's only a 500 gold lead here for T1.
I've seen this play before, as Faker is once again going to go down low. BDD with a lot of movements, but he finds the Q, and down goes the Talia. There's another Wild Growth combo here as Cuz will be able to cut down Pays and KT. They come alive.
Pays is just trying to play the game, but it's just not going to happen.
His Cuz could be in an awkward spot. Seismic shove doesn't connect. He does get rid of that ward. The dragon has been started. Scuttler getting amongst it as well. Let's see what is going to happen here. 8 seconds on the paranoia. KT probably wanting to fight around that particular window as now Faker gets off that wall. As Perfect off on the angle, does have to flash to get himself out of the way, but it's a good vault breaker. There's the paranoia finally coming on forward. Cuz has to get out of there though as the final hour helps Perfect try and get to safety. The dragon is going to be taken down. Great polymorph to deny Ona even more, and he'll be taken out as well as KT. They find themselves a dragon.
Has a global mid laner, but it's not quite the same global power as Nocturne in terms of gank. They're going for Perfect in sides.
Yeah, there's the cease and desist, and Perfect going to take a bunch of damage here. Knocked back with a great vault breaker, and yeah, he's just really dead. Faker going to be opening salvo. Then there is certainly an opportunity, especially if Ona just keeps stealing away objectives. Of course, the Ocean Dragon is now up and available. The Weaver's Wall comes in from Faker, as does bring her a fair bit of value there, as there's the Paranoia Wild Growth combo into the backline, but Cuz just explodes. The all-out does come on forward. Great polymorph onto Ona, who will get taken down, and now aiming is diving forward. BDD getting work done as well, but Pays could be the Quadra here for aiming, and there it is. Could it be a pentakill as well, as it's Perfect that steals it away, and KT are just gonna run over to the Baron.
A huge unsure myself, but the end result is they don't get him, and KT get more on the map.
Yep, Slurkle coming on forward there as well as the polymorph onto Doran means that he cannot even play the game. Another Wild Growth onto the Nocturne, as Doran doing his very best to stay alive. It is the Nocturne falling, but it's aiming, free hitting, finds an extra one, as now Pays in trouble. Tibbers is going to die, and Pays at least will live in this moment, as Faker just saying hi to his ex-teammate here, as the Glitter Lance does come down. Seismic shove is avoided, but it means he has to walk towards T1. Still, he is going to survive. Effort walks away as now BDD throws in a bunch of damage towards Carrier. Fight for at this particular point in time. As Seismic shove is going to connect there. Beautiful pick here from T1. They take down BDD.
Unfortunately, Baron isn't up.
Yeah,
so
there's
it's
not
just
a lot
going to be a little bit of gold.
Now, is he going for a Randuin's? That would be kind of crazy.
So.
Warden's Mail has been picked up here. So Perfect just making himself as durable as possible. Paranoia coming down once again. Here is another wild growth on top of Cuz. But this time he is going to get isolated. Effort going to get pulled out here by Doran, who is looking to try and take him out. He does keep himself alive for a decent amount of time, and it's 2 kills here for T1. And now the carries don't have quite as much utility, but there's the exhaust out of the vein, and Perfect is able to take down FaZe. Doran now in a little bit of trouble, is aiming, able to sidestep, dashes forward into the rocks. Didn't really want to do that, but they still managed to take down Doran. And Owner is over this wall and decides against.
It's crazy, look at this cooldown.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's already almost halfway back.
And this Baron is also not long for the world. They have a lot of damage. Perfect isn't even hitting it as in goes Owner. It's the steal from FaZe as the Guardian Angel is going to get procced. I don't think that T1 are going to keep their jungler alive, but Cuz may be dead as well. Yeah. Oh dear. Just Ultimate Hunter things as well as the item build. That's all right, T1. They are now on this dragon looking for Soul Point themselves. It's Perfect. Could be caught out. Good Q. Going to connect from Doran, but the exhaust is going to be there. That is the secure on Soul Point for T1 now, as there are 6 Drakes for both sides. We're still waiting for another one.
Wild
Team fight hasn't
down.
really happened just yet. As in they go, Doran looks for the opportunity. There's the Silver Bolt, so a lot of damage onto this tank. As they turn the lights off defensively here, there's the bear going down. Cease and desist as Owner goes down to his GA. Doran getting down very, very low, so it's hard to be that front line. But now FaZe gets on in there. Cuz surviving by just barely. And now FaZe having to get out of there. The Slurkle not doing too much, and KT stand tall.
KT, they botched the early part of the fight, but they had so much longevity, and you could really feel those Ocean Dragons ticking through a little bit through this. But also beyond that, so many tools coming online. The wild growth at the last possible second, because the second Paranoia is aiming.
Aiming is going to go down to the GA as Perfect flashes over. Not going to get bubbled this time as he tumbles into the brush. Carrier also going to be going down, and it's a double for Perfect. I think that's POM.
These death timers are so long, 40 minutes into the game. Cuz is going to clear this mid wave, and they'll have 2 waves coming through eventually, but I don't know if they even need it. Cuz could just come up and join his teammates as Fakers is trying to buy time.
Yeah, dash cannon from B2D, not going to be able to catch up to this Talia.
20 seconds on FaZe. They need to somehow buy time for that.
Double 80 carries, man. These Nexus turrets do not last very long at all. T1 are going to have to try and commit to something here as the Paranoia comes on through. Gets on in there as Cuz. Decent spell shield there at the same time as they take down Owner. And KT, I think they've done it! 2-0!